The Prime Minister has convinced President Donald Trump to lift a travel warning, urging American tourists to avoid Australia because of the bushfires. Let's go live now to political reporter Eliza Edwards. Eliza, it's a win for the tourism industry. I guess the hope is at a minimum we won't have cancelled trips to Australia.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Scott Morrison has used his cosy ties with the US president to successfully push for Australia's travel advice to be downgraded. That's after a red flag warning was issued, urging American tourists to postpone their trip because of the severe nature of the bushfire season. So it is a win for the government, but the travel warnings aren't back to original levels, and there is a concern that there's already been a material impact on the nation's tourism industry, even in areas that haven't been hit by fires. We've seen images of fire-ravaged towns and smoke-filled cities, leading news bulletins around the world, putting a dent in Australia's reputation as a safe tourism destination.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with those numbers, I guess, in the future. But you understand people initially having some reluctance, but the message now, a lot of those places in particular that were hazardous are safe again, thankfully. Meanwhile, in terms of the response, Eliza, we've got small business advocates in Canberra today for a meeting with the Prime Minister discussing the economic impact and how they want to get back on their feet.
Yeah, that's right. So business leaders will use the roundtable this afternoon to put forward their proposals for how to keep fire-affected communities afloat. We've seen these fires have a massive impact on customer numbers over what should have been the peak tourism period. And the Small Business Council boss, Peter Strong, says some local businesses risk going under unless that extra support and stimulus is provided.
A community revolves around its businesses, and in regional Australia there's small and medium businesses, service stations, IGAs as I mentioned before, newsagents, the hairdressers, bookshops are out there. They're all needing support, and they don't want charity, but they say we can't survive without money. So getting people to revisit those places, to go out and have a holiday, to purchase goods, etc. is what we need, but also we need the government, federal and state, to go and support them through those first few days of crisis and those first few months of having no money.
Tom, before that roundtable, the National Security Committee is meeting, discussing extra relief packages for fire-affected communities, and we'll hear from the Prime Minister later this morning.